My lords, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome back to Railway Empire 2 as we continue through the campaigns. We're now on to Chapter 2, which is set in England and Wales. We're based in London and we start in 1845. We are the engineer this time out, Idris K. Bailey. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to guess that looking at his bio and his appearance and this cigar here, that this is loosely based on Isambard Kingdom Brunel. He's got the stovepipe hat, he has the cigar, and IKB works as well. But regardless, maintenance then, all locomotives require 10% less maintenance, 20% lower cost for tracks, tunnels and bridges. Nice little bonus right there. And the bonus from express trains is 5% instead of 10%. Well, that's not too much of a trade-off really. So let's carry on. So we start with 2 million, everything else, so 3 competitors this time rather than the 1. Everything else is as before. Let's start the game. And like last time, we'll just skip through the cutscene so we can get stuck into this scenario as soon as we possibly can. Okay, so I've cut out the little cutscene and the introduction from Captain Mark Hewish, who is our mentor this time around and provides us with our task lists. As we can see right at the start, there are rail lines all over the England and Wales region. We own all these white ones, so we do start with some infrastructure straight off the bat. We have a competitor here with a line from Dover into Cambridge. That's a private line. We have a competitor here running from Bristol into London. A private line here, a private line here, a private line here, another private line here, a private line here, a private line here, a private line here, a private line here, and a private line here, and a competitor from Carlisle to York. Right, so what are the we've got some research points first of all. What do we want to spend these on? Let's see. Cheap locomotive straight away. Yeah, we'll go for that. So that's that taken care of. We have 8 locos to begin with. We have the Rocket, the Adler, the Derwent, the Firefly, the GNM American, the Limar, the Jenny Lind, and the Iron Duke. I think that's all of them. Yeah, the Rhine we haven't yet unlocked, and Le Continent we haven't unlocked either. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 connection bonuses straight off the bat, and all of them look pretty solid. Grain is always needed, sugar is always needed, cattle's needed where it's needed. Is it needed in Birmingham? No, it's not. Birmingham doesn't have an industry, but it is needed in Manchester and Liverpool. And a connection to York, which from Manchester wouldn't be too difficult to achieve. And yeah, task list, let's have a look. Transport 60 passengers without changing trains from London to Liverpool. Okay, we've got until the end of the year to do that. And connect 3 rural businesses to our network. And again, the end of the year to that, but that should be fairly straightforward. So let's have a look. So we've got London. London Euston. Very good. I wonder if all the other stations are named correctly, or I've got names. Birmingham 2. No, they haven't. Do we own both of those? We do. Birmingham and Birmingham 2. And private traction, what's the name of the station now? Birmingham 3. Okay. Well, I'm thinking... I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to demolish that station. Get some money back there. And just bring this back to about there. Demolish that bit of track. Connect that to that. Like so. Is that connected? Yes, it is. So do that. London's fine. Then we can pass through Birmingham up into Manchester. Again, we've got 2 stations here. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to demolish that station and that entire line. And then go from platform to platform between London and Manchester. Let's just remove that bridge. There we go. Decent gradient still. Oh, it's gone. There we go. That's better. And we'll build that. So now, in theory, we can get from London Euston up to Liverpool without stopping. What I'm also going to do, since we have a named station, I'm going to go through and name these as well. So that will be Birmingham New Street. Then in Manchester, we will have Manchester Piccadilly. So that's what that will be, Piccadilly. And then Liverpool will be Liverpool Lime Street. Liverpool Lime Street. There we go. Okay, so transporting passengers from London to Liverpool without stopping. Well, what we'll do is, quite simply, parallel track there. Parallel track to Birmingham New Street. And then parallel track from New Street down to Euston. It's not parallel track that properly. Now it has. Nope, it doesn't want to do it. Why are you being silly? That's better. No, it's not. What are you doing here? Just give me a parallel track, man. What's going off? Not sure why that is opting to be so silly. Whoa. Right. What are you doing? What are you doing? What makes you think that is the most logical thing to do? Well, that's annoying. Let's just delete that. And let's just maybe rework this bridge here. Let's go back as far as there. There we go. And from the station to there. Like that. And now can we parallel track up to New Street? Yes, we can. Okay, there we go. Then what we'll do is we'll put gridiron at each station. So gridiron there and there and there. And then at Piccadilly there and there. And then at Lime... Did we put that one down? Yes, we did. And then at Lime Street there. Supply towers... One there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Let's go ahead and give Euston a maintenance depot and Liverpool Lime Street a maintenance depot. Like so. So now what we can do is an express line from London Euston all the way through to Liverpool Lime Street. We'll set it as an express. You use the Iron Duke, and I think we'll get 4. It's going to cost us a lot, but it does mean we can get those passengers transported sooner rather than later. And then once that task is done, we might be able to sell them or repurpose them. So London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street, confirm that. And now we want to connect some industries. So let's get a station at this grain farm here, and we'll put that there just to block off any further expansion by that private line. And we'll come down here, build that. We'll have a second platform here because we'll go to both Birmingham and London Euston from this station. So we'll first of all come down here like so, and like so, and connect in there as well so we can get to Birmingham New Street with a supply tower there. And let's give this a maintenance depot as well. We need to do the signals on all of our tracks, of course, so we'll do that. So that's one industry connected. Let's get a line set up that goes from Wensley Terminal hauling freight into London Euston. Why can't you get to London Euston? I'm not sure. Did I not put grid? You've got gridiron. Yeah, let's just close that down. Yeah, close that. And have a look here. Whoops. I know why we don't have gridiron up here. That's the problem. So as I was saying, the line from Wensley Terminal hauling freight down to London Euston. We'll say a full load. We'll just have one train doing it. You can be on platform 1. Choose locomotive, the G&M American. Yeah, if that's what they're suggesting, then that's what we will use. We'll then do a similar line from Wensley Terminal into Birmingham New Street. Again, you go on platform 2 this time with a full load. And again, we'll choose one train. So that'll be that connection bonus as soon as those trains roll into town. But what I'll also do is just quickly rename those lines as well. So this one is grain to Birmingham. And the other one is grain to London. There we go. Let's get this cattle ranch connected up as well. Birmingham doesn't have a meat industry, but I think what we'll do is, utilising either a bond or we'll let the game run and pick up the connection bonuses, is we'll put a meat industry in Birmingham. Let's see, can we just get that a little faster? 49, there we go. So this can come into here. We'll put the gridiron down. We will put our track signals down and a supply tower. So new line from Murray Stop to Birmingham, full load, platform 1. Freight only, G&M American, and this is cattle to Birmingham. So this won't fill up yet because there's no demand for cattle in Birmingham, but hopefully we'll be able to amend that ourselves pretty soon. And we have sugar as well. Let's go something like this, and let's have a line from here that comes into there. That's the first task now taken care of. Put the gridiron there in a moment. Get up there. Ooh, the bridge. Can we just maybe do without the bridge? Yes, we can. And there. Track direction signals. And here. There we go. We need a supply tower down here as well, so we'll put it just before that junction there. And what we'll do here is we'll have a line. Oh, we don't have a lot of money. In fact, we have very little money, so let's issue a bond. And let's get a line from McGowan Station. Oh, we need the gridiron as well, of course we do. Silly me. There we go. As we were saying, McGowan Station to Manchester. Freight only. And let's have you only take 4, because we know that sugar's not needed a lot, so yeah. 4 to Manchester minimum. If you take more than 4, then so be it. Maybe even 2. We'll go 3. Yeah. And then after Manchester, go back here and then go to Liverpool. And again, we'll go 3, platform 1. And that way, one train will serve both cities, because sugar's not a high demand commodity and it is fairly close. So there to there to there to there to there, that's all fine. What we don't want them doing is bringing anything from Manchester or Liverpool, so we'll set them to 0. There we go. So that's that connection bonus, that connection bonus, that connection bonus. Let's also come in from York, shall we? So York Station can go there. And you can just run into Manchester Piccadilly. Can we get you to do it? Maybe if we take that down a bit. It's making the tunnel quite long, and we can't afford that. Right, let's see if we can do that a little better then, shall we? Delete that. 9%, it's quite slow. But we can always change it around a little bit later. We don't want that massive bridge. We're trying to save money here, not spend extra. 4%'s okay, that's all fine. A lot cheaper there. And then let's double it up into York. Gridiron there. Track direction signals there. We can't afford a... Oh, yes, we can afford a supply tower, but we won't be able to afford the train. So let's do the train first. So York to Manchester. And then let's do... Should we do York to Liverpool as well? Like that. And just have one train doing the whole lot for the time being. And then come back and sort it out a little bit later. Yeah. Can we get a train that's cheap? Well, we still need one train. Let's just go through here. Yeah, we can get the Derwent. The Adler's too expensive. The Rocket's not good enough. Let's go for the Derwent. And that's just to get that connection bonus as quickly as we can. Let's just rename that station, shall we? From York 3 to just York. I don't think the station at York is known by anything else other than York, so that's what we'll go with here. And I think now we're in a position where we want to start the game, because there's not much else we can do. So let's run at full time, at full speed. As soon as these connection bonuses start to pay out, we'll hop into Birmingham, and hopefully we'll be able to put down an industry down here in Birmingham, and we'll go for the cattle industry. And once we've done the task up to Liverpool from Euston, I think what I might do is those 4 trains is get rid of some of them and just have a Euston to New Street service running instead. That way, if we do have meat here, we have beer down in London, I believe. Yes, we do. That will help both of those cities, so that's probably not a bad idea. Our train's struggling up this steep hill here, but it's only a temporary measure. Once we got a bit more money, we'll amend this track to make it a bit faster and a bit more conducive to our trains. So that's a second connection bonus. That will be the grain that's now paid out. So once this train gets into Manchester from York, there we go. That should be another connection bonus paying out. Yep. And hopefully now that's enough to allow us to get an industry here. New production, meat industry, yes, we can afford it. And we'll pop it just there. And then that'll set this train in motion, because now there is the need for cattle in Birmingham. There we go, we see it's now being loaded up. And that'll give us an extra connection bonus of another 125,000. And that money we could maybe use to amend this route here to make it a little bit more direct. So, what else do we want to do in the meantime? We could maybe bring some corn into London as well. We have corn down here. And we could bring it in just before... Oh, it's a bit close to the bridge actually, so maybe we won't be able to get it in before the gridiron. What else? Oh, there's a connection bonus for the cattle ranch. We could get cattle into Manchester and Liverpool. That should be fairly straightforward. We could get grain into York, Manchester and Liverpool. And I'm just looking. There's a bit of a scarcity in terms of rural industries on this one. So I'm quite inclined to have a a warehouse that feeds several cities. For instance, we could have a warehouse in York that accepts grain, corn, salt, fruit, and maybe even vegetables if we've got a concession for East Anglia. And then from that warehouse it would supply Manchester, Liverpool and possibly Carlisle as well. And then maybe do something similar in Birmingham or in Oxford, where we could have a warehouse in any of these that supplies the other cities in the area. I think what I would like to do is actually get a station in Oxford as quickly as we can. So let's do that. And the reason I say that is because Oxford has a textile manufacturing, London has a fashion industry, so they would complement each other very nicely indeed. So let's go ahead and get a service between London and Oxford. And again, we'll just rename the station from Oxford 2 to just Oxford. Again, I'm not sure if Oxford Station has another name, but we're just going to go for Oxford. We can always change it a little bit later on. So new line, Oxford into London Euston. You can use, you probably use a G&M American, she could be mixed mode. And again, maybe just one train should be enough there. That's fine. So we've got cattle to Birmingham. I'm thinking the grain could be next. Still not complete, we've got 42 out of 60, so we're over halfway there. Where are the trains up to Liverpool? There's one heading back. Are you... No, you're heading to York. Okay. You're London to Liverpool. You're also London to Liverpool, and you are heading up that way. So hopefully you'll get there pretty soon. I don't know what the other tasks are going to be, but I'm going to assume there is going to be some city growth involved. I guess London's going to be one target for city growth, because it is the capital, of course. Maybe Birmingham, because Birmingham is a populous city as well. I assume I'm going to have to buy out all of our competitors. These private lines we can't do anything with, but I guess we're going to have to buy all of those out as well. I can't think of anything else that they may ask us to do at this point. What I'm going to do is, from this station here, is I'm going to connect down and run some sugar into London. And that's just gambling that London will be one of the cities that we have to grow as we progress through the chapter. So let's do that. You hit supply towers aplenty on your way down, and we should be able to afford this. McGowan, freight only to Euston with 1 train, and let's have you just take a maximum of 4, and you can come off platform 1 because it's got less utilization apparently. London, yep, that's all fine, we can afford it. There we go. Okay, so that's that task complete. So what we'll do now, while he's reading out in the background, is that line from Euston to Lime Street. We'll now amend it. So that's this one here. Edit the rail line. We'll now drop that to a G&M American because we're going to have mixed freight. And just have a single train. Automatic loading. Confirm. And edit the rail line. You're now just going to Birmingham. Like that. So that's freed up some funds, which is quite nice. Our other tasks then, so deliver 80 loads of any goods into London. Now that's fairly straightforward. Have 90% of travellers take the train from London to Dover. So we're going to need to build a station down here in Dover. Optional tasks already. Grow London to 120,000, so that was a good guess right there. Have 3 cities with 100,000 citizens or more. So I did say maybe growing Birmingham, but clearly that, well, unless it comes later, but yeah, that wasn't named. But London will be one of those cities, and I'm maybe Birmingham and Manchester as the other cities, or Liverpool, whatever. We can determine the cities later on. And the other optional task was to increase the value of our company to 30 million. Well, we've got until 1853 to do these. We're only in 1845, so plenty of time there. So what we'll do first of all then is we will get a station in Dover, and this station will be Dover Priory, I believe is the name of the station for Dover. So that's what we're going to go with, Dover Priory. And then we're just going to run a line into London Euston. Hopefully we can squeeze it through here. Yeah, that looks like we can. Not too many issues there, I don't think. And can we have you connecting? Well, perhaps not like that. But let's have you come in a little more sensibly, shall we? Like that. Just have you come that way a bit so we've got room for the second track. And whoops, what's happening here? Just get you to go a bit straighter. Okay, yep, that's fine. Get the parallel track down to Dover. Oh, what's going off here? The track section is too, I guess it's a bit too close to that bit of track there, so let's just amend this and have it merge together then. And then merge back out again, just as we go through that tight area. Into Dover, gridiron, supply tower about there. And then let's get a service then from London Euston, that is express, into Dover Priory. Iron Duke, we can't afford that train, but we can afford the limo, and 30 mile an hour is pretty good, so let's do that, and that'll start chipping away at that task. Which one is it? This one right here, hopefully. The 80 loads of goods into London, like I said, that should be pretty straightforward, and hopefully these trains here, yep, they are bringing in some cloth designated for London, for the fashion industry down here. You're waiting too long to be loaded, are you? Well, okay then. What we'll do... Which one is it? Is it you? Let's just have you wait for 4 cartloads. And if you want to take more, you're more than welcome to. And we'll do the same on this one as well. I mean, he's still waiting. Oh, no, he's not. He's got 7. Okay. Breakdown maintenance needed. Of course, we need some more maintenance buildings, so we'll have to take care of that. McGowan station. Oh, we'd already set those for reduced amount, hadn't we? Yep, we're set them to 3, and it's still waiting too long, so let's change it to 2. There we go. Edit rail line here. And what are you on? We want you on platform 2. There we go. Yep. Maintenance building. Yeah, we want one at this station here, don't we? Let's do that. There we go. I think the next thing I'd like to do is get some corn being brought into London to get London encouraged to grow. We're almost at the growth threshold, as we can see, so bringing in the corn should tip us over the edge. Is there anything else you need? We can bring you milk and veg. Well, we have milk here, so we could bring milk and corn in together. Veg, we've got some in East Anglia, but yeah, we'd have to buy concession. Any other veg nearby? We have some on the Isle of Man, which is not really ideal. Any other veg? Nope, just 2 sources of veg, so it will have to be this from East Anglia. So at some point we'll have to buy access into East Anglia to make that a reality. But I think this is where we'll leave it for today's episode. A bit of research first. Let's see, what can we get? Whoops. Increased revenue from mail bags by 5%. Allows you to build, buy and operate factories to produce chemicals for households and factories. But that does lead to bribery, which reduces construction cost of all buildings. So I think we will go for chemicals, even though it not might be a direct use to us right now, because it does unlock bribery, which will be of great use because it'll cut down on construction costs. Right, so what do we want to... Do we have a maintenance building in London? We do. Okay. Let's have a cab ride. Well, first of all, let's save it, shall we? So we pick it up in March of 1845 for part 2. Okay, that's the game saved. And what shall we have a ride on? Let's have a think. Why don't we do this Sugarloop line? That's going from Manchester to Liverpool and into McGowan. Or maybe Birmingham to London. Although he's just broken down, so maybe not. Let's do... Who are you? You're going to Birmingham. Let's go to Birmingham and back on this train, shall we? So ride along. And we want to make sure where's the train? Whoops. It's going off here. Yep, we are in front of the train. Oh, and we've got a task completed during the cab ride. Obviously, we'll see what that is when we come back for part 2. I'm going to guess it's the 90% of the passengers taking the train to Dover. And then this train's not going anywhere yet, so maybe that's not a good idea for a cab ride. Let's see if it was that one. Yes, it is. So obviously we know that's due to be completed when we come back. Come on, what can we ride on? There's got to be something available. Who are you? McGowan to London. Let's go from here down to... Let's go to London and back, shall we? Ride along. And we don't want to be that direction. We want to see where we're going. Let's go just there. Okay, so that took a while to make a determination to what train we're going on, but we got there in the end. I hope you've enjoyed the start to this chapter. It's nice to be in the United Kingdom, be back at home, so to speak. I can see already this one probably is going to have some challenges when it comes to city growth due to the scarcity of some of the raw commodities in and around the map, but I'm sure we can find a way around that. As I said, probably have to deploy warehouses this time through. We didn't have to do that in chapter 1, of course. As always, a special thank you to my supporters on Patreon. Your support is absolutely fantastic and deeply appreciated, so thank you very much indeed for that. For now, ladies and gentlemen, all that remains for me to say is, as always, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.